It is also possible that Ellie Petro, who was tapped to join the CPRB, she has not yet accepted her position, but she may join on as well to watch the proceedings and kind of help determine whether she's going to accept that position. So if you see her name pop up, that would be why.
I'm sorry, Christian, what did you say? I'm sorry, Christian, who's going to join us? I didn't hear you.
That was Lillian Hall. That wasn't me. There was a law department talking about the new board member that may or may not join, or somebody who's been identified as a board member.
Yeah, she might, the name Ellie Petro might pop up on your screen. That is just who that individual is. She's been asked to join by City Council. She's not sure if she's going to accept yet. So she may pop on to watch the proceedings.
Okay,
But she
thank
wouldn't
you.
be allowed into any executive session or participate in any votes or anything like that. Not yet.
All right. Thank you.
Hey, Lillian, real quick. This is not letting me record the meeting, so this is lovely.
It looks like it's recording.
Oh, does it? Okay,
yeah,
good.
I see
I got
the
a
recording in
notification that it was
progress.
recorded, and it says
Perfect.
it.
Okay, that's all I care about. Okay, good. Brandon, do you want to start the meeting?
Yes. Give me 1 second. I can pull up the agenda.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Oh, good.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Billy, we were ironing out some technical difficulties, so we haven't officially started yet. So,
Okay. All right.
if you wanna go ahead and do that.
Do we have quorum? I can't see everybody that's on the screen.
We do.
Is that a yes?
Yes.
Okay. Let me get to the agenda. Silent. Okay. Sorry, can't find the share file. All right, hold on. All right, so I'm going to bring this June 17th CPRB meeting to, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to bring this June CPRB meeting to order. We'll start with the calling of the roll. Chair Sharp here, Vice Chair Brown.
Here.
Parker III.
Present.
Member Gatton.
Here.
Member Hardy.
Here.
Member Mountcastle.
Here.
Member Saganovich. Member Miller. All right.
Just for the record, Member Saganovich is on her way down to OPS because she was having some technical difficulties with her camera. So she should be there at some point.
All right. CPRB Secretary, do we have any notification from Member Miller of an absence?
I do not.
Okay. All right. I would say there is no approval of the minutes because this is a special meeting. So do we have any public comment?
We do not.
Having none, no public comment. I think we would go into executive session to deal with issues, then come out, and then we'll take cases. Any other opinions? All right, I need a motion to adjourn to executive session.
I move that we enter executive session for personnel, employment, and discipline matters to be considered, that we allow in law department counsel, HR representation, and administrative structure.
Second.
Okay, before we vote on that, Administrator Trexler, is there anybody from the office that you think needs to be in the meeting?
Not at this time. No.
Okay. All right. Motion properly second. We have to do this by roll call vote. Chair Sharp, aye. Vice Chair Brown,
Aye.
Member Gatton,
Aye.
Member Parker III,
Aye.
Member Hardy,
Aye.
and Member Mountcastle.
Aye.
All right. So, Administrator Trexler, if you could get us that room
Yep.
so we can adjourn to executive session.
Give me one moment.
And then somebody will have to inform Ms. Ganovich when she comes on that we're in executive session.
I'm sorry, Chair. Did you say you wanted law in there?
Yes.
Okay.
Do we have to do anything to join executive session, or we'll just
I
pop
think
into
it'll pop up on your screen and you have to click the
Yeah.
button.
It's gonna pop up right now. I'm gonna click the button.
Okay, thank you. See it.
Everybody, I don't know if anybody can hear me. I'm having a having a problem with the breakout session. I'm gonna try it again.
You're the only one not in it, right?
I don't know what's going on. I don't think so. Where they are. Okay, there. Okay. Move to session. Oh my God.
That should be it. She's got to get, yeah, she's got to put me in the,
So this would be your mute and everything.
okay.
Is she up and running? I can put her in the meeting or in the.
I'm up and running.
Okay, give me 1 second,
Yes.
Diana.
Can you see us?
I can see you.
Okay,
Which one needs fixed?
this one. This one needs to have the integrated camera system to work. This is my first one.
You might follow me. Yeah. Let's see if I can hear.
Everybody else have to leave the room. Okay.
I didn't go in.
You didn't go in yet? Okay, hold on 1 sec.
Oh, wait a minute, wait a minute. I'm sorry.
There we go. Hello? I am enraged in ways that you don't even understand. I called you earlier, but
Kristen, mute yourself, babe.
oh, hold on. Thank
You're welcome.
All right, is everybody in? Okay, Miss Hardy is there.
Looks like Dave stepped away from his
Okay,
deal.
Dave has stepped away.
Everybody else is here, I think.
Everybody else is here. All right. Do I have five? One, two. I do have five. Do we want to just simply wait until Dave comes back? Oh, there he is. All right. So I want to bring the CPRB meeting, this June 17th CPRB meeting, back to order. All right. Would anybody like to make a motion?
Yes, I will make a motion. I would like to make a motion. Just give me 1 second. All right. I would like to move that the board consider, sorry, 1 second. Need to make sure I pull up. Okay. All right. I move that the board consider finding that investigator Kim Maxwell violated Civil Service Rule 9.10 for neglect of duty and conduct unbecoming of an employee in the public service space as a result of her conduct at her March 28th meeting with members of the board and OPS, as well as her actions in failing to complete her duties while on remote status, and her conduct in the office towards OPS employees as relayed in her LR3 notice. And as a result of this recommendation, I also recommend that the board implement a 3-day suspension to be served effective. Let's give us some time to get this out. So it'll be effective, it's tomorrow, Wednesday. So effective Thursday, June 19th, 2025. So that means we'll be served.
Thursday,
Yep.
there is no work on Thursday. It's a holiday.
Wait, say it again.
Thursday is a holiday.
Is a holiday.
Juneteenth.
Thursday is a holiday. Okay, so
Like a Monday.
effective.
Friday.
Yeah.
Just go to Monday.
Can I recommend,
so-
yes, Monday's the start of a new pay period.
Okay, so effective. Okay, sorry guys. Effective Monday, June 23rd.
Mr. Chair, Vice Chair,
Yes, yes, Ms.
I
Hardy.
had read something as far as holidays and pay and different things. Is there something about holiday and pay? So is the city open on Friday?
Yes,
Is
the
the
Yes.
city
city
is
open
open
on
on
Friday?
Friday.
Okay, well, we should begin the next workday, even though it's a different pay period. She'll get paid that one day for that pay period. We don't have to wait till Monday. I don't believe
I'll
we have.
second the motion.
There is
as
something
read.
about that in our manual.
All right,
Okay, well,
so
I'll ask this, Attorney Hall, do we have to start it immediately or can we set a later date?
I will call Acadia and find out.
Okay,
well, I think, Brandon, you bring up a good point to start it on Monday, because I would recommend not only do we send out the notice by email, but we actually send it out by certified mail, and it may not get to her. So it would be
okay.
appropriate to suspension on the
So,
23rd.
okay, so my motion will be that the
Are we
effective
waiting
date
on
would be-
Attorney Hall to find out the answer?
Not necessarily, because I
Okay,
will make the same recommendation.
okay, and the only reason I'm going with this is because I read something about holiday pay, and 1 day pay is 1 day pay. And if she works that Friday, then she'll have the weekend off and she'll start a fresh pay period on Monday.
It doesn't matter, because she's on work home status anyway. So we just started on the 23rd.
So she's
And
getting paid, okay.
yeah, she
I'll
won't get
second the
paid.
motion.
Okay. Motion properly second. All in favor say aye.
I,
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? That motion carries. All right. So Administrator, the letter will have to come from I'd rather it come from the chair, but then I want that to be sent through certified mail as well.
Yeah,
Okay.
um, Billy, you and I can,
Yeah.
draft a letter. The letter will
Draft it.
just
Yep.
state exactly what the motion just was. And I'll send around to the board the template, so that way you guys can all see what the template looks like that I'll be working from. So that way everybody will be on the same page. But there won't be any additional information beyond what we've already discussed.
Okay. All right. Would anybody like to make another motion? Ms. Hardy, you raised your hand.
I thought we were going to second for the letter for the board to see before it went out.
No.
Okay.
Because we've already made it.
Okay,
It has to go out in a timely manner, but that's why, again, I think it was appropriate to do it on Monday. Give us enough time to look at it and then have it actually sent out.
Yeah,
All
so
right.
I think that might be
No, I thought you had one more motion, Brandon.
that I had to make.
Yeah, to
About
empower
the HR committee?
Oh,
empower the
yes. Sorry, yes. Let me pull that language back up too. Too many pages open. Okay. All right. I would like to make a motion that the HR committee, when facing emergent employment issues moving forward, has the ability to act on behalf of the board, with the caveat that they must report their actions to the board, in compliance with city HR policies.
I have a question. Oh,
Second.
go ahead, Mr. Gatton.
Go on. I was going to second it.
Okay, so we're voting to give the HR committee permission
Yeah,
do
so
what?
essentially, so essentially the spirit of the motion is that there are times where employment matters come up in between our monthly board meetings, and we want to ensure that the HR committee has the ability to act in that interim before then reporting to the board at the next board meeting, so that we don't always have to try to convene a special meeting whenever anything happens.
Mr. Chair, can I make a friendly motion?
friendly amendment, you mean?
Amendment. Can I make a friendly
Okay.
amendment?
So yeah, just so you know that your friendly amendment is subject to the person that's making the motion, whether he accepts it or not. But go ahead.
Yeah, sure.
Mr. Brown, can I make a friendly amendment?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, I know certain things come up and everyone's schedule may not be, they may not be available. But I want to make a motion that you try to get a quorum And if because we have where you send out, will you attend, will you not attend? And if you can't get a quorum within that hour, then you proceed with the HR committee. Do you accept that amendment?
So my only pushback on that, Ms. Hardy, is that we have our notification requirements for meeting. So like that, even if we could call around and figure out that we had a quorum within the hour, we wouldn't be able to meet for what is it, a day or two,
72
maybe even
hours.
3.
72 hours.
So there's still lag time that I think does not always allow for us to be able to kind of swiftly make decisions in the way that we may need to. And again, the idea is not that we're coming to any sort of like final disciplinary decisions. But for instance, if there was an issue where someone needed to be placed on administrative leave, right, because there was some sort of issue that was very immediate, we would like the HR committee to be able to do that in the moment. And then, of course, when it's time for the board to meet again, then we would report to the board and we'd be able to figure out, okay, long term, how do we want to handle this?
Okay, I understand about the 72 hours. It has to be posted. Okay, thank you.
I'll second the original motion.
All right, original motion, properly second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? That motion carries. All right. Are there any more motions that want to be brought to the floor?
I don't think I have any more. But maybe at this point we could do some cases.
That would be great. So hearing no more motions, Ms. Trexler, can you proceed with cases?
Certainly. So the first case that we're going to hear is a tabled case from our May 13th hearing. It is OPS 2022-0158. The complainant is Sutton. The investigator is Oak. The board agreed to table the case so that the investigator could get a rationale from the officers as to why the witness statements weren't included. Also, there were additional information on reporting requirements that were requested by the board. So I will turn it over to Investigator James Oak.
Good afternoon, everybody. Can everyone hear me?
Yes.
So just a quick refresher. OPS case 2022-0158. The complainant was Ms. Tanise Sutton with the subject officers Derek Brown, badge 713, and Seth Mercer, badge 868. Ms. Sutton alleged that CDP officers failed to properly write their police report by leaving out vital information in witness statements regarding her minor son's assault. She believes that the officers made her son the suspect instead of the victim. So I reached out to the Policy and Procedures Unit. I spoke with Sergeant Graham and Detective Kim Swerinsky. There's actually no policy or directive district notices regarding patrolmen and including witnesses. The only thing that I was able to find was from Sergeant Amy Harper at the Academy that states that they are trained to include witnesses. So when it comes to patrolmen, there's nothing that actually blankets stating you need to have this many witnesses, or you have to include every witness in your narrative. So I did find that Sergeant Roberts was on scene. He interviewed the witnesses while Officer Brown and Mercer were handling the suspects. So Officer Brown's report included Ms. Goodwin's as a witness and Ms. Ross's statements. So there was 2 witnesses on scene. They both had the same statement, so only one of them was included into the report. So I guess it was redundant to have both witness statements having the same thing, so only one was included. So with that, I guess OPS recommends a finding of exonerated for lack of service against Patrol Officer Derek Brown, badge 713, as the preponderance of the evidence gathered throughout the investigation supports the finding that the alleged conduct did occur, but the officer's actions were consistent with law, Cleveland Division of Police General Police Orders, trainings, and procedures. And then as well, OPS recommends finding of exonerated for allegation A, lack of service against Patrol Officer Seth Mercer, badge 868, for the same mentioned reasons.
Any questions for the investigator? All right, I don't see any. I don't see any hands up. Hold on. All right. Would anybody like to make a motion? All right, can somebody make a motion? Because I'm trying to find my matrix in front of me. I mean the agenda in front of me, and I can't find it. So can somebody make a motion?
Yeah, I'll make the motion.
Go ahead.
And thanks, Investigator Oak, for running down those points for us. I do think it's relevant that when I took another look at this before today, that it seemed like the only witness that was missing was the witness that was kind of duplicative to another one. So it seems like there were no kind of material facts that were missing from the report. But I do think it's relevant and a little bit concerning that there's no requirement that an officer has to include all relevant witnesses. And I guess I probably should have brought this up when Billy asked if there was any questions for the investigator. Investigator Oak, I do have that question. So based on what you saw, I mean, what are the guidelines for what the officers have to put in the reports as it relates to witnesses?
Sure.
Is it as general as, any relevant witnesses or any relevant evidence or anything, or is it even absent of that?
It's absent of that for patrol officers. So the detective manual has a step-by-step of contacting everybody that's on the scene and make the best effort to do that. But for patrol officers, there's nothing.
So,
Mr.
That's
Vice Chair,
or a
Yeah.
comment?
you see my
yeah,
hand?
Ms. Hardy.
One of our duties or responsibilities we can do is to have the investigator do a recommendation. So if you feel strongly about that, or it's not there, that's why, we're here, we can make a recommendation.
Yeah, I do think that's a good point. And I'm definitely thinking about that. Mr. Donovich.
Yeah, I was thinking, the detective manual they're supposed to contact everybody, but if they don't have the name or the phone number or anything about who the witnesses were, they don't have anyone to contact. So I think we should make a recommendation to make it clear to patrol officers that detectives need that information. That's my only comment.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with that. Do you want to make that motion that I think we need a motion, right, to request that?
Do we need a motion or do we?
To request what? I'm sorry, guys.
To request that
So
the investigator write up a recommendation so the patrol officers will include witnesses, names and information.
So that would be our suggestion to the city. So
No, to the OPS, it would be to the investigator. It would be a suggestion to Mr. Oak, if he would write up something, whatever Mr. Brown would like to say, and then he would present it to us, and we would send it to the city. Well, as our legal advisor.
incorrect. So Ms. Hardy, that is incorrect. What Mr. Brown would do would be direct OPS to come up with such a statement.
That's what I said.
You said the investigator. We wouldn't ask the investigator directly.
Oh,
we would ask OPS.
OPS is the investigator.
Yeah.
Okay.
So because you would put that workload on Mr. Oak specifically, you don't want to do that. You're asking the office, OPS, to come up with it. He may be the one that ultimately does it, but then they present it to us and then we move forward.
Okay, because I know specifically, I have made several recommendations for several investigators, and they worked on it, and they asked people, to help them. I didn't know it was going to be now all on OPS, or they would work jointly on it. So that's how it is now.
Well, I mean, I guess I don't really have a preference on who works on it. If Investigator Oak has the capacity to work on it, that's fine. If not, then I will leave that to the Kristen and the office to figure out how best to get that done. That's fine. I think it works either way.
That's why the motion should be.
Um,
That's why it should be. You're asking the office to come up with it, and then the administrator doles it out however she feels.
okay. All right, then I will make the motion that this board direct OPS to draft recommended recommended policy change as it relates to the reporting requirements of patrol officers to uh, to better aid detectives in or just to better aid our police department in man, I'm losing my words here. To better aid our department in documenting cases.
Second.
Could I make a friendly amendment that specifically to witnesses? I think we're specifically talking about witnesses because
Okay.
make it too general, they won't realize that our concern is they aren't giving specific
Okay.
information about witnesses.
Okay, I will accept that amendment for specifically for witnesses, and I'll include other relevant evidence in the case.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Ms. Hardy.
Ms. Hardy seconded.
Oh, okay, that's what it was. Okay, motion properly second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? That motion carries.
Okay, I actually need to make motions on the on the officers. I want to make sure that I have this right, Investigator Oak. This is OPS case 2022-0158, and there are two officers.
No, this is 2022-0050.
Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'm sorry. 22-0158. Yeah, correct.
Yeah,
I
0158. Okay. And there are two officers here. There's P.O. Brown and
Yes.
P.O. Okay. All right. So in OPS case number 2022-0158, allegation A of lack of service, no service as it relates to Patrol Officer Derek Brown, badge number 713. I move that this board exonerates this officer as the preponderance of the evidence shows that the conduct did occur, but that the conduct was was in accordance with GPO and manual rules.
Second. Did you have amendment, Ms. Saganovich?
Motion properly second by Ms. Saganovich. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? That motion carries.
All right, same case, OPS 2022-0158. For allegation A, lack of service, no service as it relates to PO Seth Mercer, badge number 868. I am moving that we find this exonerated as the preponderance of the evidence shows that the alleged conduct did occur, but that the officer was not in violation of any GPOs or manual rules.
Second.
Ms. Hardy properly second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? That motion carries. All right. Does that
All right,
wrap
that's
it
it
up
for
for
that
you,
case.
Brandon? All right.
Yeah, that's it.
Madam Administrator.
Thank you, James. Our next case on the agenda is case number 2024-0282. This was a CPRB directed complaint. The investigator is Lachika Green, and she will now present.
Do me a favor. That's coming off of because we're backed up. Is that coming off the June cases or the May cases?
These are what is that case like? When
It's
was
from
it?
June. It's from June.
These are all June cases. Yeah.
Okay, so hold on one second, because when I go to my June, I only have two
There-
cases in the file.
There's a separate special investigation folder.
Okay.
So go to
Special virtual.
yeah.
In the shared file?
Yeah, it took me. It was weird for me to
No, in
find
your
it too.
email.
Oh, it's in the Jesus Christ, I'm looking in the complete wrong spot. Hold on.
Well, if you
Sorry.
click on, even if you're in the OneDrive, if you click on the CPRB approved cases, once you're in the, yeah, I had to click around to find it, but
Oh crap.
it's in.
All right, just go ahead and proceed. I'll catch up. Sorry.
You guys ready? Hello, my name
Yeah.
is
Yes.
yeah, I'm an investigator green. I'm presenting OPS case 2024 0282. OPS received an anonymous complaint against Detective Demetrius Woods, badge number 2127 on June 14th of 2024, concerning an incident that occurred June 13, 2024, in which he was involved in an on-duty traffic accident. PO Jason Hearn, badge number 578, arrived to the scene of the accident and completed an investigation, but no traffic citation was issued. The allegations against Detective Woods were presented to the CPRB on November 12th of 2024. This was again presented by Investigator Boker on June 10th of 2025. Okay, and at that time, the CRB made a recommendation, made a lack of service allegation against P.O. Hearn for failing to cite Demetrius Woods for a traffic violation. The OPS investigation reflects that P.O. Hearn complied with manual rule section 4.18, GPO 8.01.02, and GPO 8.1.01 as he completed the investigative packet and forwarded as required. Neither section 4.18 nor the GPO specifically directed P.O. Hearn as the initial investigator to issue a citation to an officer involved in a traffic accident. To the contrary, they reflect that the initial investigator completes the investigation, which is forwarded through the department, where the chief has final authority to determine disciplinary action, which reasonably includes the issuing of a traffic citation. It is further noted that the maximum fine penalty, if citations were issued in this case, would be $300, which is likely much less than the monetary loss to the officer involved in a traffic accident if the suspension without pay were imposed under the disciplinary matrix. In conclusion, OPS recommends a finding of exonerated for the lack of service allegation against P.O. Jason Hearn, badge number 578, as a preponderance of the evidence include WCS footage and OH1 report 2024-166870 reflects that P.O. Hearn obtained statements from all parties and identified Demetrius Woods, badge number 2127, as the at-fault driver, which is consistent with the requirements of Manual of Rule Section 4.18, GPO 8.01.02, and GPO 8.1.01, as he was not required to issue any traffic, I can't say any, but issue a traffic citation at that incident. And this concludes the investigation. Sorry.
All right. Are there any questions for the investigator?
I think Ms. Hardy had her hand up.
Ms. Hardy, go ahead.
Mr. Chair, if there's no questions, I would like to make a motion.
Oh, I do have a question.
Vice Chair has a question.
Yeah, so Investigator Green. So I'm looking through the report and I'm seeing that essentially there's no requirement that this officer had to give a ticket. But what does concern me is that the officer's kind of rationale was just that he just doesn't give tickets to officers. Is there anywhere in the GPO that states, or the manual rules that state, that officers are not allowed to give other officers traffic citations? You're on mute.
No, that's not the language for that. There is a process which involves IA when officers are issued traffic citations, so they followed that process. There was a superior that concluded the IA investigation, and he stated the same thing, that officers don't typically issue traffic citations to other officers. IA handles that, and that has been the consensus across the board. So
Okay.
Patrol Officer Hearn made that statement, and it was also confirmed by his superior.
Okay.
So, so now I have a question, in regards
Just
to,
1 second, Ms.
okay,
Hardy. Let's make sure that Vice Chair Brown was concluded in his questioning. Were you
okay.
concluded, Vice Chair Brown?
Yeah, I didn't really have a follow-up question. I was just going to say that it makes, I guess my concern was that I wanted to make sure that there was some sort of mechanism for officers to be held accountable, even if they're committing traffic violations. And if the case is that one officer can pull another, and I know that this just doesn't happen, so I don't want to spend like a bunch of time on it. But like, if theoretically an officer was to pull an officer over or witness an officer commit a traffic violation, um, it sounds like the mechanism is that that officer would report the offending officer to IA, not that the officer would write him a ticket. Is that right, Investigator Green? Is that your understanding, rather?
You're breaking up, so I'm having difficulty hearing you. Can you please repeat that really quickly?
Yeah.
That's what I'm over here doing, like struggling with this computer. Yes.
Okay, so if one officer sees another officer commit a traffic violation, from what you're telling me, it sounds like instead of writing that officer a ticket, instead that officer would notify IA of the offending officer's offense, and then IA would investigate. That's normally how it happens.
Hold on. What is going on?
You're on mute, I think.
Yep.
I'm having significant computer issues I'm working through.
Okay.
Your question is whether or not officers should be referred to IA to issue the citation?
Just kind of, it's more so what the ordinary course, if they were going to somehow try to hold an officer accountable for a traffic citation that they witnessed, they wouldn't issue them a ticket. They would just go to IA.
I mean, according to the superior, any officer and the officer, they stated when officers are issued a citation, IA handles that.
Okay.
But the citation would come first, or the citation would still come. Sorry.
If there is any citation, it would be issued by IA. So they essentially handle that that portion of that. So if there was a citation issued, someone from IA would issue the citation. In this particular instance, the detective was disciplined in this particular case. So the last time we met, the language of double jeopardy kind of like reared its head, because like here, like the detective faced administrative penalties. So like again, like in the analysis portion, I stated that the maximum fine penalty would be $300. So it's less than the monetary loss to the officer. So the detective. So if the detective were issued any administrative sanctions, it would come from IA Pro. I mean, not IA Pro, but IA. But this detective was disciplined according to their disciplinary matrix.
All right. So Brendan, just to clear up your point, I from what I gather, because I know she's having difficulty hearing, I think you are right that the officer reaches out to IA and IA then issues the citation.
Right.
From what I gather,
it's for traffic accidents. For traffic accidents.
Right. All right.
Okay.
Ms. Hardy, go ahead.
And I know I made a motion, but when Vice Chair Brown was talking, I thought about the case that we had previously that was similar to this, because this officer, he said that he has been an officer since 2007. And he said from his knowledge that police officers do not issue tickets to other police officers. That is the job of internal affairs. And I heard you, Vice Chair Brown, ask, is there a GPO or something that states that? Or is this just common knowledge that it just happens? And I don't know if you're able to answer that or not, but this was something that we looked into on our last case about this. People saying, well, we've always done it this way. But is there a GPO that backs that up?
Is that a question for me?
Yes, if you could answer it.
So the GPO, there is not a specific GPO that backs that up. For this investigation, we used GPO 8.1.01 for the Ohio Traffic Accident Report Supplements and Violation Enforcement that was included inside the investigation package. And that would be the GPO that would pertain to this particular accident. Because the motor vehicle accident involved an officer, IA handled that particular incident.
Okay, so is there anything, because the officer said, his representative said as well, that is the job of internal affairs. In our unit, it would be the supervisor duty to issue a citation or determine. So is there anything in a GPO that states that language?
Again, GPO 8.1.02, it does not state that. Those
Okay,
comments
so-
came from the investigating officer and the supervisor in IA. Yes.
Okay. Okay, Mr. Chair and Vice Chair, should I proceed with a motion?
Yes, you should.
Okay, based on the preponderance of evidence presented by the wearable camera interview supporting the findings that the alleged conduct did happen, but according, okay. Case number 2024-0282. And the police officer is Jason Hain, badge number 578. Based on the preponderance of evidence by the wearable camera, the interview supports that a finding did occur. But based on the investigators, internal affairs investigation, is that the investigators, they're the ones that make or give out tickets. So I find that the police officer is exonerated.
I'll second the motion.
All right. Vice Chair Brown seconds. Motion properly second. All in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? That motion carries. And I think that's it for that case.
Yes.
All right. Administrator Trexler.
Okay, our next case on the agenda, it's case number 2. It's OPS 2023-0173. The complainant's name is Joseph Westfall. The investigator is LaChica Green.
Okay, thanks again. I'm reviewing OPS case 2023-0173. The complainant's name is Mr. Joseph Westfall. And it's in his complaint, Mr. Westfall alleges lack of service, insufficient service, and states that he filed 4 police reports with members of CDP for incidents involving theft of property by his former roommate, and they failed to investigate. Mr. Westfall didn't give a specific time that these incidents occurred, but he stated during the year of 2024. So OPS investigated, and I found police reports related to the address, and the police were called to the home 4 times. On March 28th, Mr. Westfall alleged lack of service and insufficient service by P.O. Ryan Krantz, badge number 1734. He's no longer employed with the Cleveland Division of Police. Police officer Martin Richardson Liberon, badge number 1169. And P.O. Frank Gearbeck IV, badge number 394. And he states that officer fails to assist him with retrieving property from his home. WCS recordings of this incident show the officers assist Mr. Westfall with transferring his personal property from his former home and into his vehicle. At the close of the encounter, Mr. Westfall informed the officers that he had gathered his items and that he had gathered the items that he needed, and he thanked the officers for assisting him. OPS recommends a finding of unfounded as a preponderance of evidence supports a finding that the alleged conduct did not occur. WCS recordings dated April 1st, 2023 shows Sergeant Michelle Grykar, Patrol Officer Michael Valdez, badge number 1384, Patrol Officer Stephanie Martinez, badge number 1548, Patrol Officer Anthony Estramera, badge number 799, and Patrol Officer Zachary Banks, badge number 645, show the officer and Patrol Officer Zachary Banks, badge number 645. It shows the officers assist Mr. Westfall after he arrived to his former home to retrieve his property on March 28, 2024 at 10:06 p.m. At this time, the officers provided Mr. Westfall with information to request police assistance in the event he wished to have them present during the transfer of his property. At this time, Mr. Westfall was provided with information to the City of Cleveland Housing Court for questions related to the eviction process, and also to the City of Cleveland Prosecutor's Office in the event he wished to file criminal charges against his roommate for assault. The last two police reports for Mr. Westfall that involve his former roommate include a call for CIT and a call for aggravated menacing. Those calls were for Mr. Westfall's former roommate. It's alleged that he suffers from mental illness, and the police responded to the home to assist him those times. So the police did respond to Mr. Westfall's former home. The two times Mr. Westfall had moved or been asked to leave the home, and the officers assisted him with gathering his things. And the second call on April 1st, 2023, Mr. Westfall had showed up to the home unannounced. And he first called the police, and he stated that his former roommate had threatened him. So Mr. Westfall had called the police and arrived to the home, and the officers asked him, if you had any additional property in the home, please give us a call in advance. And then it was 10:06 at night, so they discouraged him from, try to facilitate that at a late hour, and encouraged him to try, at an earlier hour. So allegation B, lack of service for the incident that occurred on April 1st, 2023 by Sergeant Michelle Breitcar, badge number 9262. Patrol Officer Michael Valdez, badge number 1384. Patrol Officer Stephanie Martinez, badge number 1548. Patrol Officer Anthony Estremera, badge number 799. And Detective Zachary Banks. OPS recommends a finding of unfounded as the preponderance of the evidence supports the finding that the alleged conduct did not occur.
All right.
And that concludes investigation 2023-0173.
All right. So does anybody have any questions for the investigator? All right. Hearing none, would somebody like to make some motion? If not, I'll take it, Frank.
Yep.
Is that good? Okay.
Yep.
All right. So case number 2023-0173, allegation A, lack of service. I'm dealing with PO KRANTZ, badge number 1735. My recommendation is for unfounded. Based on the preponderance of evidence and WCS and the investigator's report, my recommendation is for unfounded. Is there a second?
One point of order. I thought that the
Go ahead.
investigator said that person is no longer with the police department, that one in
Oh,
particular.
thank you.
Correct?
Thank you. You are correct. You are correct. So nix
Okay.
that one. So let me just state for the record, we are not rendering a verdict on that PO officer because he's no longer with the force. So I'll move down and replace that officer with PO Lamburn, badge number 1169. Same allegation. My recommendation remains the same. Is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Gonovich, properly second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? That motion carries. All right. Same case. 2023-0173. Allegation lack of service. PO Gambrak, the badge number 394. My recommendation is for unfounded, given the same rationale that I listed before. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion properly second by Mr. Ganovich. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? That motion carries. All right. Same case. 2023-0173. Allegation B, lack of service, insufficient service. Sergeant Grammer, badge number 9262. My recommendation is for unfounded based on the preponderance of evidence and the investigator's report. My recommendation is for unfounded. Is there a second?
Second.
All right, motion properly second by Mr. Ganovich. All in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? That motion carries. Same case, 2023-0173. Allegation B, lack of service, insufficient service, against P.O. Valdez, badge number 1384. My recommendation is for unfounded, given the same rationale that I listed before. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion properly second by Mr. Ganovich. All in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? That motion carries. Same case, 2023-0173. Allegation B, lack of service, insufficient service, against P.O. Martinez, badge number 1548. My recommendation is for unfounded, given the same rationale that I gave before. Is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Ganovich, second. Motion properly second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? That motion carries. Same case, 2023-0173. Allegation B, lack of service, insufficient service, against P.O. ESTREMERA, badge number 799. My motion is for unfounded, given the same rationale that I gave before. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion properly second by Member Saganovich. All in favor say aye.
Aye. Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? That motion carries. Same case, 2023-1. I'm sorry, 2023-0173. Allegation B, lack of service, insufficient service, against is it Dispatcher Banks, badge number 645. My recommendation is for unfounded, given the same rationale as I gave before. Is there a second?
Just point of order. I think it's
Yes.
detective or police officer Banks, not dispatcher.
Detective, sorry. Detective Banks, I'll take it again. Detective Banks, badge number 645. My recommendation is for unfounded, given the same rationale that I used before. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion is properly seconded by Member Saganovich. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? That motion carries. I believe I got them all on that one. Madam Secretary.
I'm sorry. Yes, you did.
All right. Okay. Madam Administrator, you go ahead.
Okay, the next case on our agenda is case number 4. It's OPS 2022-0154. The complainant's name is Emily Calamino, and the investigator is LaChica Green.
Is that case number? Oh,
That's case number 3.
because on mine it has Emily Calamino. And
Yeah.
number 4.
Yeah, it's case number 3, not 4.
Case number 3. It should be Emily Calamino, case number 2022-0154.
Okay.
I apologize. I was looking at the other agenda from the past.
Okay.
That's okay. All right, go ahead, LJ. Is she there?
LJ, you're muted.
Okay, that's what it is. I can't see
There you
her
go.
on my.
I'm going through it today. My apologies. Ms. Calamano made allegations of unprofessional behavior, unprofessional conduct, lack of service, and biased policing from an incident that occurred on June 11, 2022, after she and her son were involved in an altercation at a rent center. The incident involved a sales associate and her adult son. Ms. Calamano alleges that Patrol Officer Roquetta Lavender, badge number 2594, was unprofessional and seemed to favor the other party involved in the incident because he stated that he had a family member that was also a Cleveland Division of Police officer. Ms. Calamano further alleges that P.O. Lavender incorrectly listed her as a suspect on the police report, failed to include all details on the police report, and also failed to interview her son Carlos, who was transported to Metro Health Hospital prior to the officer's arrival to the scene of the incident. WCS recordings show Patrol Officer Lavender respond to the location where the incident occurred with her partner, Patrol Officer William Salupo. The officers interviewed the employees at the store who provided a statement to them, and they informed the officers that Ms. Calamano's son had assaulted an associate in the store, and the store sales associate had defended himself. And during this process, Ms. Calamano had ended up striking the store associate, and the police were called. The officers then respond to the 2nd District Police Station where Ms. Calamano and her son Justin were located. They left Rent Center and went to the 2nd District to provide their statement of facts about the incident. The witness, her son Justin was the witness, and he provided a statement of facts regarding the incident. Her son Carlos was transported to Metro Health at this time. Ms. Calamano notified the officers that Carlos he had mental health issues, and she notified the officers that Carlos had mental health issues, and he was transported to the hospital due to his injuries, and he was not present to make a statement. The officers provide Ms. Calamano, the suspect in the case that she alleges that assaulted her son. Hold on, I'm so sorry. So the officers take a statement from Ms. Calamano and her son Justin. They provide a statement and identify that her son Carlos is in the hospital. Patrol Officer Lavender provided Ms. Calamano with a police report and information to the City of Cleveland Prosecutor's Office if she wished to file charges. Patrol Officer Lavender provided a police report to the suspect as well. There are cross reports that kind of identify both sides of the story and the stories from the witnesses about the incident that occurred. And all parties were referred to the prosecutor's office due to conflicting statements and the need for additional information. WCS suggests that P.O. Lavender, badge number 2594, assisted and accompanied her partner, William Salupo, badge number 1969, to the location of the incident. And P.O. Lavender was not the only officer in which the complaint was the only officer that the complaint was filed against, because her partner ended up completing the police report for the suspect. So Ms. Calamano felt that she was listed as a suspect. Listed as a suspect in a police report, but it was just basically two police reports written from two different perspectives. And she also provided the complainant with information to the City of Cleveland Prosecutor's Office. OPS recommends a finding based on the preponderance of the evidence. It supports a finding of unfounded as an allegation that P.O. Lavender engaged in unprofessional behavior and conduct in violation of Manual Rules 5. OPS recommends a finding of exonerated the allegation that Officer Lavender engaged in lack of service. And OPS recommends a finding of unfounded regarding the allegation that P.O. Lavender engaged in biased policing in violation of General Police Order 1.07.08. This includes the investigation for OPS 2022-015.
Just a question.
Yes.
You listed the manual rule. Was it just simply manual rules 5, or was there some more numbers to that?
Here we go. 5. Here we go. My bad. 5.08.
Okay, 5.08. And then give me that. What was the second one you cited?
So manual rules 4. 4.03. Personnel should give full attention to the performance of their duties.
Okay. And then there was another, a 1.07.08. What was that?
General Police Order for Vice Policing is 1.07.08.
Got you. Okay. All right. Because I was gonna make the motion. Does anybody have any questions though for the investigator? And let me go down my screen. I don't see any hands up as far as I can see. So I'm gonna jump. Did we lose Miss Hardy? I don't see her.
I'm here. You don't see me?
Okay, now I do. For some reason I'm going across my thing here. All right. Okay. So and you didn't have a question, Miss Hardy, just to make sure because you weren't on my screen.
No, I
I
don't.
don't want to overlook you. Okay.
No
All right.
question.
I'm going to make some motions. In case number 202-0145, allegation unprofessional behavior conduct against PO Officer Lavender, badge number 2594. My recommendation is for unfounded, given a preponderance of the evidence, and that the officer was in accordance with Manual Rules 5.08 and 5.03. My recommendation is for unfounded. Is there a second? Sorry.
Second.
Was that Parker the third?
Yes.
All right. Motion properly seconded by Member Parker the third. All in favor say aye. Aye.
Mr. Chair?
Yes, Ms. Hardy.
Calling off the number, case number 202201554. I believe you said 45, but I said over 54, so I don't know if the secretary.
Okay, just in case. Thank you, Ms. Hardy. Just in case, for the record, this is case number 2022-0154. Just for the purpose of the record. All right. So motion properly second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? That motion carries. Okay, so same case. Case number 2022-0154. Allegation B, lack of service against PO Lavender, badge number 2594. My recommendation is for unfounded, based on the preponderance of the evidence and the investigator's report, and that the officer was in accordance with GPO 1-04-08. My recommendation is for exonerated. Sorry. Is there a second?
Could I make a friendly amendment? Wait a minute. Can I make an amendment?
I believe that's Ms. Stiganovich. Go ahead.
Yeah, you said allegation B, lack of service, would have been an exonerated, not an unfounded. Because
I cleared it up at the end. I said exonerated.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't hear that.
Yeah, sorry. I cleared it up at the end.
Sorry.
Okay. Was that the extent of your friendly amendment?
Yeah, it's
okay.
Fine.
And just to Madam Secretary, so you're clear. I did clear that up at the end and say exonerated.
I also think it was a manual rule, not a GPO. I'm sorry, it wasn't the end of my amendment.
Okay, that's why I was asking were you finished. Okay.
I'm sorry.
And so your friendly amendment, you're saying which manual rule?
Manual 4.03.
4.03. Okay. I will accept your friendly amendment for manual rule 4.03. All right. Is there a second?
I second.
I heard Parker the third. So motion properly second by member Parker the third. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? That motion carries. All right, same case 2022-0154. Allegation C, bias policing against PO Lavender, badge number 2594. My recommendation is for unfounded. Based on the preponderance of the evidence and the investigator's report, my recommendation is for unfounded. Is there a second?
I second.
Member Parker the third seconds. Motion properly second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? That motion carries. And I believe that's it for that case. I believe member Mountcastle has a hard out at 1. So if that still persists, I would allow him to exit at this point and let the record show.
Yes, I'm exiting. Thank you.
All right. I believe
See everyone next month.
Thank you.
See you
We still
next
have a
month.
quorum.
I thought that this meeting was only scheduled till 1 o'clock.
Yeah. I have.
We can end it there. We're gonna have to kick the rest of these cases to
Does
another
somebody else
setting.
have to leave that we won't have a
Yeah.
quorum?
I think Parker the
do.
third. Yeah. So Brandon, can we make a motion, or are we just gonna wait and meet in July? Because we because of executive session, we didn't get to any really to get these cases down, and I think we have 100 that we're looking at.
Yeah, just so everyone is aware, yeah, we have a backlog of about 100 cases right now, and because the office has been doing such an excellent job, we anticipate that they're going to be moving at essentially a lightning fast pace, for at least the remainder of the year. And so there's a chance we could have up to 350 cases that we need to review by the end of the year. And even if it's not that much, we're already really behind the 8 ball. So we're probably going to have we're going to have to double up on these meetings. So it's probably going to be 2 meetings a month, one in person, our normal meeting. And then if we can get quorum, at least 1 special meeting per month going forward until we can clear this backlog. So again, I understand that, not everybody can commit to being at every special meeting, but I'm going to ask that, board members try to. And, and what we're hoping is that as we move forward, we'll be able to obviously get our casework done, and there'll be less executive sessions as, things continue to move forward. But of course, we never know what kind of issues may come up. So I just wanted to let the board know we don't necessarily have to vote on it now, but at the very least, at the next meeting, we're going to be trying to schedule a special meeting in July as well.
But no, Vice Chair. I am actually asking, can we get one more session on for this month so we can get rid of this at least these cases that we had, because we just keep kicking these cases.
Oh, you mean this month?
Yeah, can we get one more on for this, just simply to deal with cases? No executive session, simply to deal with cases. We got to get this load down, and we've had 2 meetings this month, and we've only dealt with 2 cases so far, or 3. So what does everybody's time look like on the 24th? All we need is 5.
I'm not available on the 24th.
Okay,
Wait a minute.
that's
No, that's not true. No, I am available in the morning on the 24th. Yes.
okay. I'll take that. I'll make myself available in the morning, so that's 2.
I'm available.
That's 3.
I'm available.
Got 4. Miss Hardy. It's up to Vice Chair or Member Gatton.
Member Gatton, I hope you're available because I'm tentatively unavailable.
Okay.
I am not in the morning.
Okay. Well, let me.
What about Mountcastle? We don't know what he
Yeah,
has
that's
to
what I was gonna
say.
say. Let me see if I can get Mountcastle or Miss Miller. I would vote. I would have us vote to do it, pending that we get quorum. But because we got to put it on the book. Yes, Miss Hardy.
Mr. Chair, also, this has been on my mind for a while because I know at one time we were saying education, training, and each month we have education / or training, and that takes about an hour and a half. If we could switch it from monthly to maybe quarterly, that would help us on our cases as well. So do we have to vote on that?
Not a bad idea to move trainings to, or maybe at least every other meeting. Not
I'm
every.
thinking I'm thinking really quarterly until we get our cases down.
Okay. Hey, I'll ask the office to take that under advisement. I think that is a good suggestion, though. That we may not have to, just because of the case buildup, we may not have to have training every meeting. All right. So can I get a motion on the floor to have a special meeting on the 24th, 9 a.m.?
Is
Make
this
a motion that we have a special virtual meeting on June 24th at 9 a.m., assuming we can get a quorum.
That would be my friendly amendment. Would be on the floor.
Second.
Second.
All right.
Second.
Motion. Everybody seconded. So motion properly seconded by Mr. Gatton. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? That motion carries. All right, you go ahead, Ms. Hardy.
Okay, so are we going to talk about our new business scheduling? Or was that it for July, August, and September? Are we going to be meeting virtual?
Yeah, I think we're going to kick that till the 24th, just because everybody had a hard out at 1. We're at 1:05. So let's try to kick that, and we'll deal with it next meeting.
Okay.
Okay. So now I need a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Well, wait. Okay, I was okay. Discussion point. I know it's been seconded, but the discussion point is only. I have a question for Kristen. Say that 5 times.
Okay.
Fast. I have a question for Administrator Traxler. I see that we did have some old business on salary adjustments and NACO registration. I mean, is it going to be extremely detrimental for us to kick it to next week, or can we do that?
No, can we?
Okay, that's all I have.
Thank you.
All right. I believe I still need the motion to adjourn.
Well, it's already been moved and seconded.
Oh, really? Sorry. Jesus, what did I?
Missed it.
Okay. A motion properly second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? That motion carries. I believe we will try to see everyone on next week on the 24th. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Bye.